I'm gonna go ahead and just get started, and we'll see where this goes. So, hello, fellow humans. I know I'm so bad about this. It's really challenging to do this sometimes. And first, I want to basically just explain I'm okay, yada yada yada, the same shit that I always say. You know, I wanted to come on here and welcome everybody because in my little short absence, I've gained like 15 followers or something, and now we're over 400, and that is insane. And thank you so much for being here. I don't know what video brought you here. I haven't been using hashtags. I haven't been doing any of that. I haven't followed up on my Instagram. I am terrible at this, okay? I'm terrible. And if you're still a fan or a follower after all that, holy shit, I appreciate you so much more than you know. So much, because you guys have just been putting up with my inconsistent schedule and my broken promises, and I wanted to come on here and I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I have been struggling with, and this would be my second video on this kind of topic. So trigger warning just for like light talk about drug use, and we'll get into that in a second, but I wanted to start this video with a preface and just talk about drug addiction is an insane epidemic, one that my family suffers from. It's a serious issue, and I never want to allot the issues that I face with those same issues, because drug addiction is a serious thing, and I don't see what I deal with as the same level of importance, because Here! Stop it. You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence. Anyway, I am such an embarrassment. I literally just, like, the other day cleaned out my phone, right, in preparation to make this video, and then I forgot to delete all of the, like, deleted stuff. I forgot to remove it from the recycle bin. So I had to go away for a minute, and I'm back now. So, addiction. Addiction is a serious disorder. We don't criticize or judge here on this channel. Obviously, it's a safe place. Everybody's welcome. Major drug addiction is not, for me, the same as tobacco addiction, marijuana addiction. So today what I really wanted to talk about was my struggle with that, with marijuana addiction. And I separate the two because I think that drug addiction, major drug addiction, deserves its own platform and its own subject. It's different. I've never experienced something like that. It's in my family. So growing up, I always was like, I'm never gonna be like that because it affected my childhood. But as an adult, I feel very differently. I was very bitter towards addicts when I was younger, and today, as an adult, knowing what I know, seeing what I've seen, it's a really different story, and we try to be supportive here over different people's struggles. Like, genuinely, I just would not feel good about getting on here and talking about addiction to that serious of a manner without addressing the fact that I'm talking about marijuana addiction, because anybody out there struggling, y'all deserve your own platform. That has nothing to do with weed. That's a different struggle. So, that being said, I was really inspired by my favorite YouTuber, Drew Monson. He made a video a while back ago. If you don't watch him, you should, because if you like me, you're gonna like him, and he's amazing. He's been around for a really long time. He's been making YouTube since he was 12, and he recently came out about his addictions, which were other things. I won't talk about it because I'm not him, but he talked a lot about marijuana, and that really inspired me because I've been on this kind of journey with myself about tapering back from weed, right? And he just talked about all these feelings and experiences that he had that really resonated with me and made me want to talk about it, because enough people don't talk about it, because weed is cool and weed is fun and weed is like it can be medicinal and it can be helpful. So a lot of people don't really like talking about it, and I like to get on here and talk about things regardless of the subject, especially if they pertain to my own life. And this very much pertains to my life. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm acting very differently because I'm sober. I've been sober all day long, which sounds ridiculous because sobriety is much more than 24 hours or whatever, but I really officially finally started the journey. So I wanted to get on here and talk to you about it. I am sweaty and I'm a little bit agitated, but I feel good and I feel a sense of clarity in my brain that I can't quite explain yet, and it's a little scary, so we're just gonna talk about it, okay? Do you like this new hair, by the way? I used to have the emo hair, and then I had the mullet, and now I have like this weird strand that kind of just sticks out. But every time I film a video or take pictures, I just think it's really cute. I don't usually wear it like this, just in my videos, but I digress. So, I started smoking weed pretty average, like everybody else, about 16 years old, I would say, about 16, and for a long time I was like straight edge, because I just wanted to protect my friends. I didn't want to get into drugs, and I didn't want to see my friends get into drugs. And you know how high school goes. Somebody offered me some weed and I decided to smoke it on my own accord, and it was all downhill from there. The first time I smoked, I never even got stoned, but that's pretty common as far as I know. And it just, I don't know what happened. I started spending a lot of time around potheads. I was really in a bad place with my family again. They were addicts, and I didn't view weed the same way as drugs. I still don't. It's very different. Weed can be an amazing thing. I'm still using it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to come on here and preach at you. So if you're like younger and you think that this old lady's about to tell you not to smoke weed, just hold on. Just hold off on those feelings until the end of the video at least. So I started smoking pretty average age, and I quickly realized how much I loved it. I started to do it with friends as like our recreational activity. I would hang out with my boyfriend and always get money from my mom and go buy weed, and that's just what she did. It's really normal teenage behavior. I eventually left high school, eventually got my diploma, continued to smoke weed. Everybody I would associate with smoked weed. It was so popular. Everybody was doing it. Everybody was either drinking or partying or smoking weed. And I fell in with the weed smoking crowd. And that just kind of became the thing. If it wasn't drinking or whatever, you were smoking. Like, that's what my friends and I did. We go hang out, watch YouTube, smoke weed. Smoke weed, go to the park. Smoke weed, go to the springs. Smoke weed, go to the beach. Whatever it was. Bring weed to the beach. It was everything. And my anxiety was really bad, and my mental illness was really bad. Undiagnosed, major problems. I'm a very like emotional, sensitive person, so I started using that to keep myself in check. I would tell myself it was medicinal. By the time I was 18 years old, I was fully convinced that I was using it the right way. The right way, the way that, like, the helpful way, the medicinal way, you know. Especially in the early 2000s, pro weed is like why we're here today, because people in the early 2000s were making films about it and making like educational things about it. People were trying to push for legalizing it, because back when we were teens, there was no CBD, there was no legal weed, there were no dispensaries. You got medicinal marijuana if you had like cancer or really horrible illnesses, and it's amazing to help people. Don't get me wrong, it is an amazing medicine, and it helped me a lot. But I started at that age, and I never stopped until now. I had a 2-year break where I had to. Don't want to get into that, super personal. No, I didn't go to jail. It's just, maybe some other day I'll tell that story. Weed, other than that 2-year break, have been smoking it regularly, pretty much every day, unless I ran out, unless I couldn't find any, unless something happened and I was staying somewhere where I couldn't have access to it, has been put into my system every single day of my life since I was a child, since I was 15, 16 years old. And if I could tie back to YouTube here, what I would say is, I think it, like, I started to see the effect. Let me go back. I started to see the effects on me as a full grown adult. My emotional issues have gotten worse. My anxieties have gotten worse. My depression, my, like, there's this thing, and that's why I mentioned the Drew Monson video, because he talks about it, and I just thought that that was me. I thought that that was part of me, not even doing this, you know, mind-altering substance. But there's this thing that he spoke about where he would go to make something, or he would go to do something creative, and this self-loathing would, like, sink in so bad on him that he just couldn't do it. And I was like, holy shit, I thought that that was me not having any confidence for a really long time. And it got me thinking, like I said, I've been, like, studying this and reading articles and reading studies about this for a while, because I've just been telling myself, I've tried all these vitamins, I don't want to medicate personally. I would like to get a diagnosis, but I don't want to medicate because personal reasons. But it got, like, it just kind of opened my eyes that maybe a lot of the issues that I face, especially creatively, are not my fault, and possibly to do with the mind-altering substance that I've been pumping into my brain cells since I was a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of got me thinking, and I decided to take the plunge and really try. So lately, what I've been doing is not smoking all day, not smoking for a really long time. I spend a lot of time at home. My job, I can literally smoke there, so there's no reason for me not to. So I've been not doing it all day, saving it for the end of the night, kind of like when you come home from work and you drink a beer or whatever your drug of choice is. That's what I've been doing lately. And then today is the first day where I'm fully sober. I haven't smoked at all. I've really wanted to. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've really wanted to. I want to right now. Like, I literally want to go smoke after this video. Don't think that I'm going to. I think I'm going to continue waiting as long as I can and just try to push through. I think I'm going to continue waiting as long as I can and just try to push through. And then don't get it twisted. It is not at all that I need to, that I physically am, like, itching to. It's not that. It's just, if you smoke weed, you know how it goes. Since I did that, I've started thinking about my creativity, my creative projects, the things that I'm trying to accomplish, the fact that I get stoned. Well, let me preface this by saying, for YouTube, I usually don't smoke before my videos. I don't like to be stoned. I don't like the stoner mentality, kind of like how stoners act, like that. What do you call that? The stoner stereotype. I don't like falling for that. Even when I'm sober, people think that I'm high. Look at me, like, it's bothersome, especially growing up in a household with drug abuse. So I try to be sober. I try to talk to you guys sober, but immediately after, or if I'm too nervous, I'll smoke and then I'll come back and do the videos. Today, and like, usually when I try, it's so hard. Like, I set up my microphone and I set up my camera and nothing's going the way that I want it to, and everything's falling, and I'm sweating, and I have a headache, and I'm frustrated, and I don't know what to do, and I just get so overwhelmed. And I didn't have that feeling today. I just set up my camera and my mic, and I'm here and I'm talking to you, and it's fine. Like, there's not all that extra bullshit that came with before. And granted, I'm sure I seem a little bit flustered and I seem a little bit crazy, but that might just be me, baby. So, as I was saying, I've got myself into such a pattern and such a routine with this shit. I've been telling myself since I was about 18 years old that I need this, that this is medicinal, that this helps me. And to be quite honest with you, I think that the cannabinoids have been lying to me this whole time so that I smoke more of them. I'll give up any drug but caffeine, baby. I'm gonna do that until the day that I die. But I think that I tricked myself. I think I duped myself. And as I stated before, and just want to like double, triple, quadruple preface that I think that marijuana can be really useful to a lot of people. It can be helpful, it can be medicinal, it can help people eat, it can help relieve pain. It has saved my life sometimes, quite literally. And that's one important thing that I want people to take away from this, is that I'm not here to vilify. I'm not here to vilify any kind of drug at all. Good smelling stuff helps, for sure. I'm not here to vilify it. I'm not here to tell you what to do and what not to do. I'm here to tell you about my experiences and the difference. And I'm probably not going to do too many update videos about it. I just needed to talk to somebody. Just the thing you don't hear about. People don't say, I'm getting sober from weed. It's not cool to say you're getting sober from weed, because everybody smokes weed, because weed is cool and weed is fine. But as someone with mental illness, like I said in my video, if you saw, I made a video about shrooms. So this is the second mind-altering substance video that I've made. And when you have mental illness, it's such a weird, fine line that you have to walk. And sometimes those things can disguise themselves as helping you. And they can disguise themselves as being a benefit, when in reality they're holding you back. And I don't know very much right now. I don't know if this is the reason why I have such creative block, if this is the reason why I feel such little confidence. It is really hard to get on here and talk to you guys sometimes. The confidence that I have, I don't know what confidence I exude, but it's negative. It's zero. So when I get on here, I'm worried about what people think about me, how I act, how I look, my teeth, like everything. It's so much a challenge that I have deleted multiple platforms, that I've had significant followers, that I was building something up, and I got so overwhelmed that I just would disappear. I would delete everything, and I don't want to do that anymore, because this is what I want to do. This is what I always come back to. This is what I always strive for, is a creative outlet. And I'm not letting it slip from my fingers this time. I'm willing to try anything. And it definitely feels different. I don't want to change the subject too much. It's just, I notice a difference from one day. So if there's a 1 day difference, then there might be something to it. Even if it's a minuscule thing, at least I'm trying. And I think that that's really important. If you're old enough, you may actually remember this video. Look at my lash is lifting. If you're old enough, you may actually remember this old advertisement that they used to show on TV. And I think it might have been Dare or like something, some program like that, where the girl was like melted on the couch and her dog was like, she's not been the same since she started smoking weed. Bitch. There's something to that. The level of laziness that I have experienced in the past 15 years of my life is ridiculous. And I'm not a lazy person. I don't like being lazy. I want to do stuff. Sitting and vegetating on my phone like drives me insane. I want to just like take my phone and break it in half. And I would if I didn't use it for creative endeavors. Like, that's the whole reason I have socials. That's the reason I have a YouTube. That's the only reason I'm alive. Is creative stuff. And just like not doing that, or at least being productive, which can be toxic. Toxic productivity is a real thing, but not being productive, like the laziness, the just general unwell feeling. Like, you get this feeling from smoking pot of like, ooh, I'm stoned, this is fun, and music sounds so good, and everything is so good, and food is better, and sex is better, or whatever it is that he said on Pineapple Express. And it is true, but there's a darker side to it, especially as you get older, that I don't think anybody wants to talk about, because weed's so cool and fun and like trendy, and like it's not a big deal. It's like vaping, right? I'm here to tell you it is a big deal, and it's still a mind-altering substance, and I sound like a really lame auntie or something, but not the weird kind of auntie who's like, hey girl, what's the tea? But I just sound like I'm trying to lecture, and I'm not. implore people, especially mentally ill people who struggle and who think that maybe that's the answer, to take a look, take a step back and look before you decide that that's the end all be all, because it wasn't for me. And now I'm searching for alternatives. Literally a month ago, like not even a month ago, I said, I'm never gonna stop smoking weed. Weed is the best thing ever. And it's just not. Everything has pros and cons. Everything has benefit. Not everything, but most things have benefits. There's good reasons. And I'm never here to hate on anybody. I'm never here to say, don't smoke pot, you fucking fucker. Not at all. Not at all. Do whatever you want. Maybe it helps you. Maybe it makes you not go insane. Maybe it makes you not want to kill everybody. But, like, here I am telling you my experience. And there's a lot of negatives behind it. And if I could get my brain cells back, if I could get my memory back, that'd be great. If I could get my ability to do things without feeling overwhelmed or like I'm an absolute idiot, that'd be awesome. I'd love that. Had to get some Nag Champa going. I got my coffee. Like, had to get some Nag Champa going, got my coffee, got my crazy hair, and yeah, I just think that it's really important, especially when you're still young and your brain is still like, you know, that you look at it. Like, just look at it, just look at it, just take a peek. And me being a full-grown adult now, the amount of change that it had in my brain, I wish I could go back and talk to younger me and say, hey, maybe don't smoke so much weed out of soda cans. Maybe don't do that. Maybe just chill out a little bit. Maybe don't smoke weed like it's round-the-clock medicine, because I told myself, oh, it's medicinal. It helps my anxiety. It helps my brain. And then so I just did it more. And I just, first of all, it's smoking. There's alternatives. Maybe explore the alternatives. But, like, look into alternatives, because smoking, not the way to go. And I just started doing it so much. I've been smoking weed so much of my life that it's become like a hobby. Like, that's one of my hobbies. And that's so lame. Like, oh, what do you do in your free time? Oh, I smoke weed. I just smoke weed. That's what I do. That's what I spend my time doing. And I'm so sick of it. I'm so, like, I feel like a different person right now. And maybe I'm a little bit manic. And maybe I'm a little bit, like, cuckoo, because I'm not used to being sober. And that's so sad. Like, what? Not used to being sober. I get that the world sucks and smoking weed is super cool, but it'd be nice to be clear-headed sometimes. I haven't been clear-headed since I was a kid, and I want to do all these things. I want to make this album, and I want to make the music channel, and I want to make Instagrams, and I want to do all this stuff, but then I sit down and I try to do it, and there's no motivation, and there's no drive, and there's just not enough care. My cat is going insane in the background. Can you see him? Hey, what are you doing? It's hard to talk about, and I don't think I've ever talked to anybody about it, because I thought this motivation issue was of my own design. I thought that I was just so mentally ill. Sir! I'll be back. Sir? He's going crazy. It's kind of honestly bizarre, because I've spent all this time thinking that it was like a personal issue and a confidence issue, and it still very well may be something personal that I have to face. And you know, that's fine. I'll face it, but I don't think that this was helping like I thought that it was. And I guess that's what all I'm asking people to do, is take a look and see if it's helping you as much as you think it is, because maybe it's not. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just talking to nobody, but after so many years, I'm willing to try. And I think that that's important, and I think that that's valid, and I think that it's valid to tell people that you want to be sober from weed. I think that's cool. You know, people say, I gotta smoke weed to deal with other people. I gotta smoke weed to do this. And again, you might be different, but just the more I read and the more I think, I just want to be clear-headed. I want to be level-headed. I want to be able to put my all into my creative endeavors. I want to feel good enough to get on here and talk to you guys. There's 400 of you now, and I know that my videos don't get a lot of views, but that's insane that 400 people wanted to be here and have dealt with my bullshit consistently over and over again. To be honest with you guys, I've been stoned out of my fucking mind for the entire year or whatever that I've had this channel, and that's changing. And I know every week or every 2 weeks when I disappear and I get on here and I have something else crazy to tell you, but genuinely just trying to better my life, just trying to do those things that I have such a dream to do and I want to achieve. So that would probably be the main reason that I'm stopping. I'm also quitting vaping, which is a whole other thing and more of a health than a mental thing, because I think vaping is slowly killing the younger generation. You know, cigarettes were really bad, killed a lot of people, killed my grandma, and then they came out with vaping and everybody was just like, oh, this is fine. No, it's still the same thing, and it's still just as deadly, and I do it, so don't come for me like I'm hating on y'all, because I'm not. That's coming next. We're doing the weed first. We can't do both at once or I'll lose my mind. But it is a struggle, and more people should talk about it, and especially young people. Like, guys, just, I know that it's cool and fun, but like, if you want to be mentally stable in the future, if you want to follow your creative dreams, maybe just don't smoke every day like it's breathing, like I have. Genuinely, I think it's done a lot of damage, and I can say that that's probably me personally, because I have really big mental and emotional issues that I need to face. Personally working on that diagnosis, I have my own theories, but I'm not going to get into it with the internet because we all know better than that. So yeah, like, I just think that self-medicating for 15 plus years on a mind-altering substance that takes away your clarity and your coherence, that was the word they used, coherence, and how you process information and how you deal with the world, and that affects it. Like, it really genuinely, it's not just the fun, giggly, haha, no consequences drug. It's not. And I can't tell you how I'll be sober, because I don't know. When I got sober for 2 years, it wasn't a choice. I didn't have a choice. I had to be involved with the courts. I had to be involved with some families' kids. Like I said, I'll tell that story another time. Nothing to do with me, all to do with, like, me working with the court system and having to be sober for that. So that wasn't real. This one's real. This one's my decision, and I don't know. I just hope that this video helped anybody who might be going through the same thing. I just wanted to talk about it. I wanted to tell you guys why I'm always disappearing. It's a huge factor. I don't know how I'm presented on here. I try to be genuinely pretty real to my personality, maybe a little bit more energy sometimes, but like, this is who I am. And I just wanted to be real with you guys, because I keep disappearing, I keep making false promises. I'm not pushing the blame on the weed, but it certainly didn't help the situation. At one point, we have to take responsibility for our actions, and I am doing that. It is my fault that I'm not more consistent on here. And moving forward, in my clear brain, I've also decided that there's not gonna, unless there's something major happening, like a drop or a really, like, cool video. I am working on a schedule. I am working on stuff like that, but I'm not going to make any promises about putting a video out at a certain time, because I'm not very good at that. I still have this separate life. I still have getting sober, and I still have all these things, and I say that I'm going to post videos because I want to, and I want to, like, provide for you guys, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's like, I'll say, new video coming tonight, with all the intention of editing it and posting it at the end of the night, and then the day goes by, I work, I'm cleaning up my house, I'm smoking fucking weed all day, and then it doesn't happen. So that's on me, but we're working on it. And I'm just saying, no more promises of like, tonight will be the video. I'll tell you when new videos are coming, and I'll say that they'll be soon, but I won't give exact times, because I don't want to disappoint anybody. There's a lot more people here than I ever thought would be, and I appreciate you guys being here. And If you want, you can go follow my new channel, which is my music channel, because in the other video I had said I didn't know if I was going to do it, but I think it would be more cohesive, especially with my clear brain. I think it would be a lot more cohesive if you guys had a place to go for that. So, and you don't have to deal with it here if you don't care about music, which is fine. Please don't tell me that I'm bad, because I'm really sensitive. You don't have to listen to it, but if you want to and if you like it, that's where it will all be from now on. And I know there's a couple of you on here who have been asking about it. If you see this video, I'm talking to you. Please go there. It will all be there. I'm uploading my previous songs, some of them, because some of them I really don't like, and newer songs. I will be uploading the non-vocal tracks. I'll be uploading the vocal tracks. I'll be uploading the videos. I privated them here because this channel turned into something else, but I'll be uploading the music video GIF things that I have. If you've been here for a long time, I'll be, all of it. It's all gonna go on there. All music right here. So there's also Instagram, there's also SoundCloud, and I'm going to be doing a Spotify, which should be made by the time right here, and hopefully getting stuff up there, because I don't know how to do that yet. What I'm really hoping for is a new direction, a new future. This whole year I've been doing so much change and so much self-work, and this was like the final step, aside from the quitting vaping. This is like the final step, the final nail in the coffin of like really committing to this. So I really appreciate everyone being around. I appreciate you listening to my ramblings about marijuana addiction. I implore you to look at yourself if you struggle with it, and don't be embarrassed, and don't be ashamed, and don't be ashamed to say to your friends, I'm sorry, I'm not smoking right now, because they'll probably just be like, oh, cool, and then drop it. So it's really not a big deal. You don't need to smoke weed to be cool. You don't need to smoke weed to have friends. You don't need to do drugs to have friends. You don't need to drink to socialize with people. Being sober so far, even though it feels horrible, is honestly kind of cool, and I feel like I can really dive into more creative aspects of my life and maybe actually get somewhere with them. So this is a really long video. I love you guys. Welcome if you're new. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys as soon as I'm able, and bye.